Hello there, it's Brian Ivy. Get started with a wonderful holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July to you. Very, very hot. This is noon hour type feels like temperatures already 100 degrees or more. Yes, it feels like 105 to 110 in the early afternoon, that meaning we're going to get a few to several degrees on top of this throughout the rest of the day. Incredible heat, not something we see very often. It may be this once in a 5-year type heat wave, but already to 90 degrees out into the Midwest, well into the middle and upper 90s. Again, look at the time. This is being recorded. This is the morning. This is the actual temperature, not heat index, 99 degrees before noon. That is extremely rare. That is extremely impressive for sure. Maybe this is more like to be honest, more of the once in 20-year type heat. Certainly not something super common that we don't have these many days. There's your lineup. The frontal boundary is coming in closer. The heat ridge is starting to at least break down aloft. It's not going to do much when it comes to the temperatures, but we'll bubble up those chances for cloud cover and severe weather risk today across portions of pretty much the middle portion of the country, just to the south of that front all the way through the East Coast. It's going to be a wind threat, not really hail or tornado or anything. Below average for the most part precipitation-wise back into the Midwest through the East Coast, but we don't have widespread pockets of just dry air. You can see where some thunderstorm complexes were, but because it's so hot, we can definitely use more rain. So even spots that are around average can definitely use rain. So we need it, but we're going to finally see it. It'll blow up a little bit as we go throughout later today into the evening hours and likely move across areas of New York City, New Jersey, portions of Connecticut into the evening. We'll see more develop along this frontal boundary, Cleveland, Erie to State College, and then this will likely fall apart into the morning hours before we see much more in the way of widespread action by the end of the afternoon hours and into the evening as we go on in towards your Saturday. And again, some of this could be pretty strong to severe, heavy downpours. The chances there for localized flooding, but again, a lot of that rain is needed as that front moves through, and this is going to really signify more of an active pattern as another front and low pressure, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. We get more to kind of develop as we go into later Sunday. And then this looks to be a good complex. That was actually earlier Sunday, now into later Sunday. You can see that push on through into early Monday and so forth and so on as we do switch things up and get a lot wetter. The severe weather risk for Independence Day, the natural Mother Nature fireworks across portions of Ohio, West Virginia, Baltimore, Washington through New York City and Jersey as well. And then as we go throughout your Monday and Tuesday, there's kind of that overall scattered pattern. This is definitely going to signify kind of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms. There'll be a couple of triggers here and there Tuesday into Wednesday, and then things may be quiet a little bit down as we go into the later portions of the week, but certainly plenty of chances to have near to maybe above average amounts of precipitation. You can see more developing out of the Midwest. We'll track that off towards the east as well, as that looks like maybe another organized complex at that point. So that is the overall trend as we go forward now. Total rainfall, because of all these chances, if we go throughout the next week, it's going to add up and should be a widespread, let's say 1 to 2 inches with some isolated spots where those storms persist, seeing 3-4 isolated inches. And yeah, there'll be some spots that do see a little bit less as we go throughout that period, but much needed rain for sure. Heat ridge breaks down a little bit for a few days or so. It's not going to mean an incredible amount of relief, but definitely it's needed. And then look at this. It's going to rebuild across portions of the middle portion of the country, so we get a little relief with another little backdoor front, but nothing super cool, that's for sure. And then this ridge is going to rebuild again, and this could be pretty potent now. It's not going to be centered here, and it's not going to be quite as strong, so we're not going to have necessarily a repeat, but this is some very intense heat that again should push through Ohio Valley, at least into the mid-Atlantic or so as we go on in towards the middle portions of the month. And it backs off a little bit to the west. It kind of elongates, but notice not a big change with that upper air pattern for our region. Precipitation chances again in that 6 to 10 day period, just like in the next week, does look to be at least slightly above average. Temperatures, we kind of see that little batch of cooler air come on in, and then it starts heating up again, and then the bigger heat kind of spreads off into our region. So there's going to be periods where we are well above average. There's going to be periods where we might be slightly below average, but when you average it all out, I mean, much of the country is going to remain for the next couple of weeks very warm and toasty. And this is the 10-day forecast here for your eastern New Jersey area. Wow, yeah, plenty of warmth, maybe not 100 degrees too often, maybe not lows in the middle to upper 70s, but yeah, this is above average. Watch for a stormier period through the first portion of next week, and then probably some chances again hit and miss later on.